Right, all right. How is everybody doing today? It's good to talk to you, and we're going to talk more about the trip that Steve and Chris went on into Italy, and talk about the toolings that they're making in Italy right now, so they can start printing up or pressing the body panels for the Aptera. And so let's get into it. I'm really trying to get reason right. Let's take our time and choose whether we green or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, 'cause we're about to lose. Whether we buy or hello, whether we stay or jello. All right, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate everybody joining me today. I hope you're having a good day. Listen, we're going to talk about Chris and Steve. Let's look at what they did when they backed the webinar, and they showed several things. What we're going to talk about is actually the tooling, the heavy steel blocks of steel that they had to have reformed and turned into molds or dies, however you want to call it, so that they could go ahead and start pressing the panels for the Aptera to be made. Let's look at that for a second because I think there's something interesting you ought to see. Let's look at that.
I do think it's cool to note that these steel blocks on the left-hand side of your presentation are actually the blocks for the rear wheel skirt and the front wheel covers.
They haven't been
the
machined
wheel
yet.
pants.
Right.
Yeah, they haven't been machined yet, but this is how they come to the machining shop. So the holes in the side are actually for the heating of the mold, and those are pre-drilled before they start milling the mold.
That's a different shop that does that. And they explain to us, how do you drill a hole that's in some cases 10 foot, in length, or however many meters that is, and keep it straight. So it's a lot of precision and craftsmanship that goes on to make these parts.
Ooh, baby.
Good inner. Just look, I'm in the same uniform there as I am here. So yeah, this is an unpolished hood inner die. So you can see it's gone through the first step. The second step, it'll go into another machine with a different bit. It'll get fairly polished by the machine, and then there's a final step of hand polishing. Now, every part needs two sides, right? There's the male and the female of the die, not really a mold, but a die. So there's up to 10,000 tons of force being applied to, let's say, the body sides. I think less on these, but the part you're looking at now is the carbon door hinge or door latch pocket. Mm-hmm. There's a pocket that's bonded onto the body, and that's where the hinge goes, or not the hinge, excuse me, the latch. And so that's part of that structure that you're seeing. And that's a left and a right together in one mold. And you'll see that in some of the other body pieces. There's a main body part, and then there's maybe 2 or 3 other parts that are also captured in the same die, just so we minimize the number of dies that we need.
Ooh.
The door inner and out. Yeah. Yeah, seeing the doors is pretty cool. And again, you see there's lots of features. You see those little circles and things on the right-hand side. Some of those are where inserts are going to go. So threaded inserts, things like that. So that's all made in the part. When the part comes out, again, there's very little work that has to happen to it. We're ready to bolt stuff to it, fasten things to it. They're not just regular decorative inserts, they're actually structural, and so the size of them, the method of how they're made, and the shear and tension force that they can withstand are all things calculated by CPC. It's part of their IP, is how do they put those sometimes very high structural hard points into the part when they're making it with the tool.
And these are both B-side tools, so that's the back side of the part. And I think I saw a video by Steve at Aptera Owners Club, shout out, that the little texture patterns on there, the little cross hatching, is actually where the adhesive goes,
That's right.
the bonding agent to stick the two parts together. So you have to do less surface treatment on the other side. You basically pop the part out of the mold, and then you can put the glue on and slap the matching part to it.
We say adhesive.
Adhesive, yeah. Yeah, this was great, and you saw the video of us standing between these two, so we thought it was amazing that CPC kind of set these up, and you could really envision yourself sitting inside the Aptera, inside these two giant 8,000-pound each molds. You can imagine, they were 20,000 pounds when they started. They hogged out, more than half the metal, but these are just amazing to see. I mean, we called it heavy metal porn when we were there because everything's so shiny and bright, and, it's just an amazing feeling to be able to sit inside these two massive molds and say, oh, that's the body left, that's the body right. This is the production Aptera. tooling. It is worth noting on these molds, you see kind of the body side part on the left and right at the bottom, but there's another part nested into this mold. So this die actually produces 2 parts per press, and you saw that on the doors too. We actually do 2 doors in 1 press. So this gets us kind of the A-pillar covers and the body side, which is really cool to be able to do 2 parts in one go.
Just so everyone is clear, I mean, with these dies right here, they can operate at least or even higher than our planned capacity, right? 20,000 vehicles a year, 10,000 vehicles per shift. So they are exactly what we need, not only to get through all of the accelerator orders, but to the order backlog as well, and then to keep functioning for years beyond that.
These tools are all designed to produce more than 100,000 parts. Some of the tools along the way, they'll need some servicing, they'll need some repolishing. Things kind of happen to the molds over time, but there's no reason that we couldn't, have our first million Aptera on the road in the next decade with these tools that you're seeing right here.
Now, this is the male part of the mold. So every mold, again, has 2 parts, the male and the female, or I don't know how they're used and described in tool lingo, but you see that there's a final degree of polishing that's happening right there. And again, you can also see the cross-hatching where the adhesive goes, and different alignment features in the mold, and the die. But this is, and you see actually the conjugate part for the, I think this is a windshield frame. I don't know what that other part is on the bottom. That's a side, I think that's a side reinforcement on the bottom. But there's, most of it's done by machine, but in the end, there's still craftspeople that go through and just fine tune everything. And you see the tools and things that they have at their disposal. Very, neatly organized for a small facility, and very efficient with the amount of product that they put out of that facility too.
So this is the inner side of the body side.
Correct.
So this is actually where the part ends up. So the last mold that you saw is what comes down onto this mold you see here, and then when it lifts off, the part is still sitting on this mold that you see here. Those holes, the bigger holes, are actually push pins. So pins actually push up and release the part from the mold. And the little cross hatching that you see, you'll then turn the part over, and that's where the adhesive will go to bond the body side to the tub and other parts of the vehicle.
If you look at the very left, kind of midway on the edge, you see like the same kind of car posters and tool posters that you'd see in the U.S. They also have in Italy. Obviously, they love cars very much there.
Yeah, that region of Italy is quite fascinating with the history of all the supercars that have been built there, and just amazing engineering talent. It's cool to see a lot of guys with great heritage in engineering of some amazing cars that you've seen over the years, but then just go goo goo gaga over Aptera.
They flip their lid over it. Yeah, they love it.
The ultimate in aerodynamic efficiency and solar powered. So we were complimented very well over there, I think.
So they talked about a lot of stuff, and I'm going to break some of this down. It looks like they actually talked about these 2 blocks right here, or these blocks that are sitting here that are actually unmachined, so they haven't been cut yet. And this one's going to be for the rear wheel cover, and these are going to be the rear skirt, and these are going to be for the front wheel covers. And remember, they have to make a male part and a female part, but you can see that they're getting prepared to start cutting these or tooling these. Right here, you could tell, and they even said that it's almost finished. All it needs to be is polished, and then it's practically ready to go. But if you look at it, you could tell that that's actually the hood part for the Aptera, and this is also the female section. So the other part I'm going to show you next will actually fit into that, and they are still working on that. They're still working on that part, but yeah, that will actually, it's the one that they were cutting. This is it right here. That actually fits inside the other one that I showed you, and they're still cutting that, but you could tell that from the way it looks, it's almost finished. And then this will also move into where they start to polish it and get it ready so that they can start using it to print up the body frames of the Aptera. See that these 2 parts right here, they're actually polished and just about ready to go too. They might have to go through a final stage of polishing, but they're almost ready to go as well. And he said that these were for the door hinges. So it looks like they are slowly moving along, and it's looking good. It's looking real good. Here you see the inside of the door and the outside of the door, and actually both of these are the male component of the die that helps form. Like I said, this side on the right is the left side of the door, and the one on the left is the outside of the door. But they just haven't done the opposite side or the female side of the die yet. And so that, as you can tell, this is practically almost finished too. It looks like it might need a little bit more polishing, but they're almost finished as well with these two dies right here. See that we have the side panels of the Aptera. This is the left side panel of the Aptera on your left, and then the right side panel of the Aptera on your right. Now they do have some extra things in here, and if you remember that Chris and Steve actually both brought out that a lot of these dies have more than one part that they're going to form, and this one has two as well, or maybe even three. I'm not sure. If you know, let me know. Put it in the comment below. But that's a good use of their money and time, and where they can try to use as much of the die as they can so that they can print up as much as possible for the Aptera in one go. I think that's pretty ingenious. This one right here is the opposite side of the one that we just looked at, or this is the one that presses, or the male version of the one we just looked at, of the side part of the Aptera. And you could tell that all these are practically almost finished too. As a matter of fact, it looks like that's what he's doing here. He's actually polishing or doing the finished product on the die so that it can go ahead and be put to work. And you're probably wondering, why in the world am I talking about all this? Why am I bringing all that out? Well, according to what we're being shown here, we have the side panels that practically finished. We have the door locks that are practically finished. We have the hood. We have the doors. The only thing that really hasn't been shown are the wheel covers, which we talked about earlier, that they have to machine those. Also the rear skirt, that hasn't been shown yet. That has to be machined, as well as the roof. And guess what? When they get through with that, that's when they'll be ready to start pressing these things out. Now, I'm not an engineer and I don't know much about these blocks that need to be machined or how long it takes. I know it takes a while because, I mean, you're using a machine to cut a heavy-duty steel block. And as Chris and Anthony brought out, that these things can press up to at least 100,000 parts just using the same one. And then they may need to, redo it a little bit. But that is amazing. And what we're waiting for is to find out when they're going to start doing this. I don't think it's going to take long just for them to do those last parts. And we might be seeing the Delta here very soon. Give me your comment below and tell me what you think. Do you think that's possible, that we might start seeing the Delta here real soon? Maybe in about two more months, a month and a half? Give me your comments below and let me know what you think. I believe a lot of this is going to have to do with the accelerator program. If they get that filled up pretty quickly, that we'll probably see the Delta or the launch edition very soon now. But if last time they showed us the blocks was in January, where they had already started cutting on it, and we know that I'm imagining maybe in about 2 months, 2.5 months, they ought to be finished with the wheel covers and the rear skirt and the roof all together, and they'll be ready to start printing them. But like I said, I'm not an engineer. I don't know about all these steel blocks and the tooling and all that. And if you give me a comment below and let me know, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see if they come out with this baby, if we see it at least by the end of August, the beginning of September, oh gosh, that would be so awesome to have that happen. That would really be nice. Oh, that would make my day. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and move on to the accelerator program and see what's going on there. And somebody actually brought to my attention that I was actually looking at it wrong. I thought there was a certain number of investors that Aptera had went up to, but I was actually looking at the thing wrong. And they actually got to 1,000. They started counting backwards. And so right now they have 985 launch edition vehicles remaining. All right, Aptera, way to go, baby. Way to go. So this is the company you want to invest in. This is the one you want, the web page you want to go to. And if you got $10,000, you could go ahead and invest in that. But Aptera is going to be rocking very soon now. Everything's going downhill, and they're getting ready to come out with it. And it would be a good decision to go ahead and get involved with this company. And RP is still going to get the #1 vehicle, and KW is going to get the #2. But any one of these vehicles that are already marked, one from 2000, going to be collector's editions. But actually, all the launch editions are going to be collector's editions as well. It's just that the one that's marked from 1 to 2000 are going to be more valuable. So give me your comment below. Tell me what you think. You guys take care. You have a good one, and we will talk to you later, and we will see you on the next one. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're new here, subscribe, hit the like button, and ring the bell, and you'll catch all my videos when they come out. Y'all take care. We'll catch you in the next video. You have a good one. All right. Bye-bye.
And I know just what to say. And I know just what to do. And I'm so sick of pain. But it's all too quick with you. Losing this game, I can't afford to be losing this game. And I know you're the same as me. Losing my mind, can't find the words, no, I can't seem to find. But I'm really trying to get reason, rhyme, and take a time and choose whether we green or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, cause we're about to lose, whether we buy or hello, whether we stay or jello. Sometimes, honey, me, you pour a little bit of gasoline. I burned out, so to speak. Come a little closer. Here's some disclosure. Do you mind to quit your pretending? Truth or false, this shit never ending. Hear me now and stop condescending. You see, I'm begging, you hear me begging. If you're sick for love, don't try to hide it. Find it deep inside and try to hide it. If there's a way, I wanna know we tried it. Quit your games and now that you denied it. Losing this game, I can't afford to be losing this game. And I know you're the same as me. Losing my mind, can't find the words, no, I can't seem to find. But I'm really trying to get reason, rhyme, and take a time and choose whether we green or yellow, whether we deep or shallow. Please me now, cause we're about to lose, whether we buy or hello, whether we stick or jello. I got